All right, let's get comfortable in a cross-legged seated position and immediately proceed to tabletop or an all fours pose with your knees in the mat, your hands in the mat, rocking side to side, getting comfortable. And let's do a few rounds of cat and cow, breathing in and out as you transition between cat and cow. Since we won't be doing a very intense flow, I'd still like you to warm up those muscles. So extend your right foot back onto your toes, stretch the back of your calf facing forward. Now let's alternate to the opposite side, your left leg in this case, stretching the back of your calf, release the stretch, and let's assume our first pose. Since this is a yin sequence, we will be holding the poses for a specific period of time. Proceed to a cross-legged seated position, raise your hands up to the sky and forward fold. Don't mind me, I'm adjusting myself, setting a timer. Get comfortable in your cross-legged seated position and hold the pose. The intention of a yin sequence is not to apply too much pressure. You need to hold the pose in a very relaxed way, not too comfortable, but not too uncomfortable. I will go silent for a specific period of time while you're holding the pose. This will be the same as with any other pose transitions. So in terms of this practice, we'll do warm-up flows in between and then holding the pose in the yin style, which is holding the pose in a specific position and for a specific period of time. Don't forget to breathe in and out and relax while you're holding the pose. Okay, take a deep breath in, slowly release the pose, raising your hands up to the sky. Let's shake our shoulders and prepare ourselves for the next pose. Okay, the next pose that we will proceed to is called the lotus pose, or in this case, half lotus. If you watch the screen, I'm giving a demonstration of how to proceed to half lotus. So I'm indicating placing your right foot on top of your thigh and then the left foot below your right thigh. And resting in that pose, you can either hold the pose sitting up straight. That provides a sensation for some, but if you want to take it further, there's a second option I've given you, which is raising your hands up and proceeding to a forward fold. Whichever position you're maintaining, let's close our eyes and relax in our pose. Please hold the pose until I've indicated you may release the pose. Okay, slowly take a deep breath in. And if in the forward fold version, raise your arms up to the sky and slowly straighten your legs very gently, releasing the pose. As you will notice, I'm doing it very gently because we've held that pose for a while. I'm knocking my thighs and my calves just to release some tension, tapping it on the mat. And while I'm doing it, I'm breathing in and out. Now let's do the opposite side. So I'm demonstrating we're taking our left foot, we're placing it onto our right thigh, and then the right foot below the left thigh. So as with the previous one, there are two versions: sitting up straight, which is one, and the second version, which is a forward fold. Whichever version you've selected, proceed to assume the pose and hold, breathing in and out while you are maintaining the pose. Whichever version you have selected, let's slowly release the pose. If in the forward fold version, raise your arms up to the sky. Slowly remove the bend of your legs. As you will notice, I'm doing it very, very slowly. We've held this pose for a few minutes, and I've also indicated that I'm doing a slight gentle massaging tap to release any tension. So from your seated position, let's proceed immediately to a downward facing dog. This is where the heat building part is assumed, and we are proceeding from downward facing dog to a high plank, and then gently lower your chest and your legs in a supine position to the floor, or rather to your mat, and resting your forehead on the ground. Okay, next I'd like you to place your elbow and your forearm on the mat, with your elbow parallel to your shoulder, up straight. There are two versions of these gentle back bends. The one is called the Sphinx pose, which is the one that you'll see on the screen. If you would like to extend it further, you can straighten your arms. That will give you a bit more of a more intense, but not very uncomfortable. If you have the space, this is called seal pose. Hold your breath and release through your nose. Get comfortable in whichever option you've chosen and relax in the pose. This may be quite uncomfortable, so I haven't held it for too long. So slowly, gently lower your chest onto the mat. Shake your shoulders out, relax your arms next to you. And what I would like you to do is, I would like you to grab your left foot towards your glute, stretching your quad, and just hold it, breathing in and out with your forehead rested firmly on the mat. Slowly release your left foot. Now let's proceed to the right foot, bringing it towards your glute and relaxing. As you'll notice, I have opted to relax onto my right ear and holding my left foot. Now let's slowly release our right foot. Place our hands next to our shoulders, toes on the ground. Raise your body up into a high plank and immediately to downward facing dog. We'll alternate from downward facing dog to a high plank. So take a deep breath in and proceed to high plank. Breathe out, hold, take a deep breath in, downward facing dog, breathe out, proceed to high plank, then back to downward facing dog. Okay, let's from downward facing dog. If you watch the screen, I'm indicating that we now need to move our right foot parallel to the short end of the mat. This is called pigeon pose. There are two versions that I'll demonstrate. The one is an upright version of pigeon pose, and the other version is a forward fold version. But what you'll also notice is I'm pointing towards the back in pigeon pose. Straighten your legs, check that your legs are straightened and that you are resting on your big toe. I've opted for the forward fold version. Breathe in and out through this pose. For most of you, it will be quite intense. I encourage you to try to relax and to allow yourself to melt into this pose and to breathe through maybe a slight discomfort. Okay, take a deep breath in. Let's slowly release the pose, getting onto our hands, raising our body up, onto our fingertips, back foot onto your toes, and assume downward facing dog from the pose. If you need some time, don't rush. Assume downward facing dog at your pace. And let's do the opposite side. So as I've demonstrated, let's position the left leg, foot into pigeon. Your shin is parallel with the short end of the mat, being the left foot in the front. Your right foot is at the back. Two options, either upright pigeon or a forward folded pigeon. Get comfortable in the pose, relax your body, feel the gentle stretch, breathing in and out. This pose is quite intense. You may feel some discomfort, but try to breathe in and out through the pose. Take a deep breath in and slowly raise our body up, and just a slight change. Instead of downward facing dog, we're going to swing our right leg to the top of the mat, as I've demonstrated, resting onto your left glute and assuming a cross-legged seated position. So as I will indicate, or am indicating rather, extend your legs straight. You'll notice I'm indicating that you need to shift your body or move your body down to the back. So we are going to raise our arms up to the sky and resting our body onto its back. Let's move or grab our right leg at its knees and then just rotate it. Now let's proceed to our left foot, or rather our left knee, and just rotate it. Just to release any tension that you may have built up during pigeon pose. So with your body firmly on its back, legs are straight, there are various options that I'll give you. The first one is a raised legged position. That is option one. If you find that uncomfortable, you can always proceed to raise it up against the wall, as I will demonstrate. So in this case, the wall will act as a prop. You may want to set your mat up close to the wall, and you will raise your legs up, but allowing it to rest against the wall. The third option that I will demonstrate is called plow pose. Raising our legs into a waterfall pose as I've first demonstrated, but now we're swinging it all the way to the back of our heads and holding our backs firmly, balancing on our shoulders. If you have space for this pose, it's quite a comfortable yin pose as well. Whichever pose you've selected, hold the pose and get comfortable breathing in and out through your nose. So whichever pose you are holding, let's take a deep breath in and release the pose. So for me it was plow pose. I'm raising my legs up to the sky to a waterfall pose and then down to the mat. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this session. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm rolling my head from side to side, just relieving some tension in my neck. And I'm setting myself up for Shavasana, or in Yin as it's called, Pentacle pose. I've chosen to place a towel over my eyes to block out some light and holding the pose, breathing in and out. So it's at this moment that I'm going to leave you, and you can hold this pose for as long as possible, or as long as you feel comfortable holding this pose. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the sequence, and I look forward to inviting you to the next class. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.